Hi guys, and welcome back to Maltbox, the non-chill filtered whiskey blog. I'm Andy and I'm back here today with another whiskey review. The whiskey that I'm looking at today is a no-age statement whiskey. It's from a very, very famous Highland distillery, a distillery owned by the same group as Ardbeg. Dr. Bill Lumsden at its tasting helm. It's a pretty recent release. It's probably not aimed necessarily at a whiskey connoisseur or a regular whiskey drinker. It's been designed for cocktails, and it's honest about that. It's this, the Glenmorangie X. Well, X by Glenmorangie if you want to be technical, but X by Glenmorangie, Glenmorangie X, it doesn't really matter. A very, very, very funky sort of foil label there. So this is bottled at 40%. It'll be chill filtered, it'll be added colour, I imagine. It does say on the back, crafted with top bartenders. This is our single malt made for mixing. Pair its sweeter and richer taste with your favourite mixer to create delicious drinks. It's got a little QR code on the back that I'm assuming takes you to a recipe page for cocktails. Now, I drink a lot of cocktails. I do make a lot of whiskey cocktails at home. I'm a big fan. All I've drunk out of this so far, this is myself and my wife's dent into it. And we were making Manhattans with it, in fact. So I've not tasted this straight yet on its own. I wanted to give it a chance. You know, I mean, I think as soon as people see the fact that it's been designed alongside bartenders, this isn't new. Auchentoshan tried it. A couple of others have tried it in the past as well. And that's fine. I mean, it's all about getting a new demographic, a new generation, so to speak. But I think we're kind of past that part now because, you know, I'm a millennial. I know Gen Z are up there now for legal drinking age, and they've probably been drinking whiskey as well. I mean, they've had things like Instagram and Facebook targeting them for ads for God knows how many years. But ultimately, that's what it's there for. It's there to get people drinking single malt, and I don't have a problem with that. Releases like this, let's get this out of the way. Releases like this, that a lot of people in the whiskey sphere are going to roll their eyes at and tut and just take the mick out of it and say it's not serious whiskey, are the ones that fund all the whiskies that we enjoy. Like, you know, again, they're part of the same group as Ardbeg, which is Moët Hennessy. That's probably funding in part your Ardbeg 10. It'll be funding the Glenmorangie 10. It'll be funding the Glenmorangie Quinta Rabanne and things like that. It's nothing to be sniffed at in that sense. I think sometimes whiskey drinkers, we need to just chill out. To be honest, just chill out and enjoy it. Not necessarily this one if you don't like it, but just enjoy the fact that you're drinking whiskey. So, onto the whiskey itself after that. We've got a bit of probably a fake gold colour. Again, I believe it is not natural colour. It doesn't say anywhere natural colour on it. And again, it's 40%. It will be chill filtered, because I can't imagine bartenders would want their drinks to be going cloudy when they start putting ice in it. I don't have a problem with it, but each to their own. Legs, slowish, I guess. I'm just trying to wipe a fingerprint off the back to make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. On the nose. It's very sweet. There's some brown sugar in there. We've got quite, in my opinion, a little bit of woodiness, a bit of oakiness in there, but it's soft. It kind of reminds me of damp cork in a way. It is a real cork in the top, but I've already checked that, it's fine. There's a bit of spice, you could argue. Possibly a little bit of a funky note. A little bit as well, like icing sugar. Sorry, that's me sniffing too hard. I think possibly some toffee, a little bit of nuts sort of vibe. It's sweet. Overall, it's sweet. I think, you know, they're kind of gone for that. They will do, because it's got to stand up to all these other things they're going to be mixing it with in drinks, be it ginger ale or Coke or whatever. Ultimately, I think the overall aim is going to be sweet and spicy. But let's see on the palate. So even before I swallowed it then, I could feel the sweetness on my tongue. And it's very, very sweet. Let's face it, Glenmorangie tends to be sweet. This is a little richer than the 10, in my opinion. It's a bit heavier than the 10. Mouth feels about the same, medium to thin. The finish, however, we've got a lot of chocolate, a touch of coffee, a little bit of flapjack kind of thing, like honey and oat. The palate itself was a little bit short before it went into that finish, but what it was, again, was sweet with a touch of spice, which is predictably what I said previously, is what they were probably going for. Boiled sweets, vanilla, toffee, touch of oak, and then into that chocolatey coffee finish. I like it. It's nice. It's inoffensive, yes. It's easy to drink. It's something that I think you could quite happily sit there and not, necessarily think too much about, but you're probably going to be like, yeah, that's all right. I've had worse. I know that sounded like not a very good thing to say, but what I'm trying to say here is appreciate it for what it is. It's sub 30 quid for a start. Yes, it's no age statement. I reckon this is probably about 6 years old, personally. So it's going to be a bit young. But it does have a nice level of intensity to it, a little bit of sweetness. It does hold up well in cocktails, because those Manhattans that I made the other day were banging, if I do say so myself. I think, ultimately, when you go into a bar, a lot of the cocktails, or your average bar, whiskey bars are going to be a different kettle of fish, but if you go into your average sort of like cocktail bar or bar in general, a lot of the whiskey cocktails are going to be made out of bourbon, rye at a push. You're going to find very few that are made with Scotch. The ones that are will be things like your Rob Roy's, Rusty Nails, sort of like the stalwarts, the traditional ones. I can see why, and how I've tasted it straight, why it works so well in a Manhattan. It does have that sweetness to it like bourbons do thanks to the corn input. It does have the spiciness, again, like bourbon does. But this is very much an approachable, sort of supple, is probably how I describe it. It's a very supple whiskey. Very flexible, affordable. I don't think it's going to do the industry any harm whatsoever. So on that note, guys, I'm going to box it off. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.